It's pretty terrifying if, of course, you are in the United Kingdom, and that's simply because over here in the United Kingdom we had a record number of arrivals of illegal immigrants. And a lot of people ask me online about this whole situation, and they say, why can't you stop them? Well, you could ask that about any country in the world. Over here, particularly the benefits of why people like to come to here is two things really. They see that the current British Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Sir Keir Starmer, is just a soft touch. They couldn't wait for him to become Prime Minister. And if you remember, the current British Home Secretary, but for how much longer remains to be seen, Yvette Cooper famously stood in her own lounge holding a card saying, "Refugees welcome." So you can see exactly where she stands on this. The true story behind that is that they believe, the current government, that these people that they let in for free, without any checks, wandering around our streets with criminal records, well, not only do they get things like, free accommodation, free hotel stays, free dental care, free health care, free clothing, you get it, they get everything. Well, they see what they believe is simply this, that they will vote for them next time around, forgetting, of course, that there's an underlying movement already who was totally disenfranchised with the likes of Sir Keir Starmer. But the highlighted problem is not just them arriving literally on the shores of Kent and Dover on a daily basis, brought in by none other than the rescue teams of the RNLI, right? The problem that you have is now this, particularly if you're going on holiday here in the United Kingdom. Let me explain. Morning, nice to see you, chums. Thank you for joining me today. Lovely to have your company in this beautifully glorious green moment here. It's nice, isn't it? Always nice to share with you. By the way, thank you for your lovely comments regarding about the shirt and tie situation with that Labour MP who suggested it could be offensive to the ethnic minorities. As many of you pointed out, we all have traditional costumes. I've got a great friend who's Nigerian and he dresses up in his traditional costume, very colourful, very nice. It's his traditions. That's the thing, but we're allowed our traditions, aren't we? And as many people pointed out, if they don't like it, and the thing I find very strange, I've got to be honest, is in the depths of winter, these people are wearing these paper thin things like they're in the middle of the desert. They must be freezing. Not a good look also, is it, with trainers, particularly from Shoe Zone, but I'll just leave that there. Just my thoughts, you know what I'm saying? Now let's get back to your story of the day. Now, if you are going on holiday in the United Kingdom, particularly somewhere like, one of those beautiful static caravan areas, or, motorhomes. As many people know, I love a motorhome, right? Now, the plan, and it's all top secret, but you'll see the headlines here, is the fact that you see the government are planning to put these people amongst you in the caravan sites because they've run out of hotel rooms. Hotel managers are now refusing to take the migrants in, so they don't know where to put them. If you put them at the seaside, particularly in these very vast caravan parks, amongst people, as I said, then hopefully you won't notice them. The problem with that, of course, is they're now being placed into not exactly where they wanted to be, which would be somewhere like London, Birmingham, Glasgow, big cities with accessibility. They're literally on the coast, and one way or another are very quickly going to get bored out of season. But of course, as Angela Rayner, the current Deputy British Prime Minister, pointed out, we'll all have to take our fair share of migrants. And, right, okay, that could be the case, but not Anne. She's got 3 houses, she's taking nobody, that's security. Sadiq Khan, the Mayor of London, no, he can't take anybody. Vast garden he's got, but no, he can't have any of that. Security. Sir Keir Starmer, Prime Minister. You get the picture. Everybody at the top can't take migrants, but you and I are supposed to welcome them in. As I said, unchecked, unverified, and in many cases, as we've seen recently, very much on the danger level. But if you're going on holiday, perhaps you might need to pack more than your bucket and spade. Neil Sean in the very heart of Yorkshire.